Hey to everybody out there. This is Pennsylvania Outdoor Sports. So I'm back from a little bit of a break. I'd lost my camera last year in a hare scramble. I think it was down in West Virginia. Just the whole mount that I had just came off. It's my fault. I had it dumped to the visor. But I picked up a new camera over winter. It's pretty much the same thing. Mobius Action Cam. Pretty cheap. China. They take good vid. You know, my only gripe against, that versus GoPro is the record time, but, I personally don't like going through 2 hours of me riding, so I try to keep them, reasonable, whatever. That being said, I'm finally kind of back in action here. I mean, this is almost June. It's pretty late, but there's a bunch of things that kept me up. Had some problems with the YZ here and there. Finally think I got it all figured out. But anyway, I don't think I ever did a real good kind of intro, what I'm typically riding here. So this is my 03 yz250. I have it pretty decked out, not too bad for woods riding. It's been treating me pretty good. The only thing, I think about dropping a wide ratio tranny in it. That way I could drop gears up front or go up in the back. Right now I have it geared pretty tall. I like the top end speed. And first gear is still usable in the woods. It's not too bad. But anyway, over winter I did a top end rebuild, sent it out to Power Seal, replate, came back looking real good. Dropped the standard bore Vertex piston in there. Didn't really do anything else to it performance-wise or engine-wise. Just went over everything, made sure everything was good. I do have V-Force 3 reeds on it. I got a GYTR flywheel. That has the 8 ounces, 8.4 ounces additional to the flywheel weight to give you a little bit more lug. Even with that being said, I still saw this thing like crazy. I don't know if it's just my clutch is real grabby, but we'll figure it out. I'm a little rusty today. Like I said, I haven't really ridden that much yet. So the other big change is I went to an 18-inch wheel in the back. Just no reason. I guess people like the higher sidewall, so I wanted to give it a go. I could run some lower PSI in it, trying to give me some more grip. This is a Pirelli Scorpion MX Extra or something like that. I don't know. It's really slick out here today. I mean, it's dry, but in the riverbeds and stuff, it's real slimy and slick, so I haven't noticed any traction in there. In the leaves, it's still kind of loose, but the bike spins up pretty easy. With the new rebuild, it's running pretty good. Anything else I got done to this dumb thing? I got a DEP Enduro pipe on there, so it's a little bit thicker. Give you a little more protection. It's pretty good. I really like it because I do bang up the bike a good bit. I got an aluminum skid plate on there. I got CRF front brakes and a front brake line and master cylinder. People seem to like those better. It does have an oversized front rotor as well. The suspension's completely done by Pro Action for basically woods riding. I got a DEP spark arrestor silencer. Just whatever came with the pipe, really. I do have a Barnett clutch basket and then the GYTR hub and pressure plate in there. The Barnett basket has those steel inserts. And so far, I've been loving it. I mean, I've had it for a couple of years now, and I haven't noticed any wear on the basket at all. I banged this up today, practically ripped it off. Oh, nothing else really all that fancy, just some cheap eBay bark busters, but they've been holding up pretty good. The hardware that comes with them is garbage, but the bark busters themselves, they're kind of bendy, so they've been really durable. I did buy this year the threaded mounts, so I have my bars threaded, and I Loctite the crap out of them, and they've been alright. And then lastly, I do have this fancy Clake One Light hydraulic clutch. This is what was giving me a lot of problems after my rebuild. The slave cylinder wasn't returning out the whole way, and so it was making my clutch slip and it would, you know, I could fix it temporarily and it'd keep coming back. And then talking to the guys at Clake, and they were very helpful, you know, and he said, you know, just try to adjust the internal thing right here. It took me 2 minutes. I adjusted it, and it seemed to fix the problem. I didn't have any problems today with it, so hopefully that was it. It's all done, and it's been good. So I think that's all there was. You know, they were very helpful, getting back to me pretty quick, guys in Australia. And like I said, I stall the bike a lot, and they do have some tendonitis type stuff. So this does help, and you can make it pretty light. But I don't like it too light. So the other problem I had, like an idiot, when I put my wheel on, I put the wrong wheel lock in there. And so the first ride I ripped the valve stem clean out of my tube because the wheel lock wasn't biting. And I was like, what did I do? And then I'm like, oh yeah, you're an idiot. Alright, that's enough about this bike. I mean, the YZs, I like them. You know, people rag on them, oh, no changes. You know, that's good and bad at the same time. I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it. The power delivery on these things is pretty awesome. You know, they're definitely not lacking there. I mean, they don't scream way up top like the KTMs. They probably don't have quite the low end grunt either, but overall the motor's great. And you can tune it a little bit with a little bit of money, but it's what I like about the Yamaha. For someone like me on a budget, I mean, this is a tinker bike, man. You can go to town just doing various, like, you know, conversion swaps, parts that, you know, are on different bikes to this bike, like the 18-inch rear wheel that came off a WR450, and swaps right on there. You know, perfect. You know, I picked that up used on eBay, and that's the other thing. Like, there's these bikes have been running for so long. There's such a nice used inventory of parts on eBay, various forums, things like that. You need something, you know, you probably don't have to buy brand new OEM. You find something nice. I mean, people do tend to charge an arm and a leg on eBay for garbage sometimes, but if you hang out for long enough, you find something decent. And same thing, I mean, it doesn't take much. This has the, I think these are the 43mm forks, so they're not like, what, the 48s with the Triple S that come on the newer bikes. But I mean, these are really good forks still. I mean, they're not Triple S, but they're revalved. You know, I really like them. But if I wanted to put the money into it, I could swap the forks on here. Same thing with the transmission I mentioned earlier. I can take a transmission out of a WR450 or what are they? The WR400s? That sound right? And then the WR426s. And the trannies will swap in there with a little bit of work, or you can just swap the last 3 gears, I think, 3, 4, and 5 onto your current gear shaft. Easy peasy, used parts, eBay, if you find them. They go quick though. People grab that crap up quick. So, I mean, that's one thing I do kind of want to do, is I want to try that. I think I'll be able to gear the bike a lot better for woods riding. Alright, let's kick this pig and go for a little rip. So, this is some property for the most part, and I'm in good with the owners, so I can kind of rip around here at will. There is like some bordering property. We used to be able to ride all over here, and then nowadays when people inherit property or they buy it, you know, they don't want you on their property anymore. Back in the day, everyone was so friendly. Oh yeah, you're such and such's friend or cousin, blah blah. Yeah, ride here all you want, man. Not anymore. You know, everyone's so, like, you know, property, like, protective. You know, all you're doing is riding on some existing trails. You're not even really doing much. But, you know, they don't want any of it, and I guess they don't liability. Everyone's too happy anymore, ruin it for everyone. But there's a good bit of land still available. You can property hop a little bit. There's some posted signs here and there where that one property is. So I've been trying to stay off that recently, just to avoid any problems. That being said, when that came up, it cut the riding area down a good bit. Before you could go ride pretty hard, like all day. But now it's a little bit more narrow. So the last 2 weeks, I've been out here trying to put together like an enduro loop on property that I know it's okay to ride on for the most part. And it's coming together pretty good. I have maybe like 80, 85, 90% of it done. And I cut some single track, some real technical stuff. You know, lots of rocks out here if you want to find them. But there's a lot of existing quad trails. They don't get ridden that much, so, you know, they're not the best kept, but they're still great fun. And there's a couple big roads like this one here. So I've been out here all morning, breaking in that trail and cutting in new trail. And also, I've been doing a lot of free riding, just trying to figure out where I want the trail to go. And I'm destroyed right now. A couple times I got stuck in like a river, water hole, little creek. Free riding and just cutting trails is tiring. Alright, so we're gonna cut this intro off, and I'll queue up another video for a rip here. We'll see what happens. Alright, stay tuned.